This video is sponsored by World of Tanks. World of Tanks is a massive multiplayer online game which allows you, the player, to take control of a single armoured vehicle of your choice. The player has control over the vehicle's movement, firing, and can communicate with allied players through typed or voice chat. A simple random match is won either by destroying all vehicles on the opposing team or capturing the opposing team's base. World of Tanks is a free-to-play game and is offering a bonus to new players, which consists of 7 premium days, 500 gold, a free premium vehicle, the T-127 Soviet Tier 3 tank. And to get this bonus, go and register today by clicking the link in the description and the pinned comment down below, and download World of Tanks now. Yes, special thanks goes to World of Tanks for sponsoring this video, and as well do check out that new player bonus which I've already picked up myself. I've been to several tank fests in the past where World of Tanks do represent quite heavily, and that's at the Bovington Tank Museum. If you ever get a chance to, please go to Tank Fest, which is sponsored by World of Tanks. And this is indeed the tank that you'll get when you've done the new player bonus. And I really do recommend giving it a playthrough, understanding it, but also going from tier 1 right the way through and up to tier 3 and beyond, because it's important to learn a few things, and we'll be talking about that in this video. Now, I do have a lot of backstory and a lot of history with this game. In particular, one of the first games that I covered on this channel was indeed World of Tanks. And as you can see, I've clocked in over 15,000 battles on various different tanks and tiers. So what is so good about this game, and why do I recommend you picking it up? The game is fun and safe, amazing graphics. Currently I'm running Ultra with the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080. You can play with friends, you can challenge yourself each and every battle to better yourself. It's responsive to keyboard as well as mouse functionality. As well, it's got real action strategy. Tactics are very darn important, and it's amazing longevity. Not to mention, it keeps you working towards goals with campaign, missions, and going up tiers of tanks. Also, before I forget, there's 11 nations of tanks, which could mean that your country is represented with a tech tree of its own. When you first begin the game, you'll be presented with tier 1 tanks, but it's important to go through training first. You will go up against bots to begin with, but it is important to get a learning platform. Understanding the game is really important, so you can progress through the different tiers and learn the tanks as you go. To find the classification of a tank, it can be found at the top. This is a light tank. It's kind of your reconnaissance / scouting tank. In actuality, people will use this for different types of advantages, but mainly it's a case of trying to find out where the enemy is going, lighting up the target to help out SPGs and as well other tanks to know where enemies are. This is an SPG, and this is your distance firing as well as stunning vehicle. So you usually find them sat at the back in your base, firing over the top at targets. And this kind of dynamic is pretty cool. It's changed a lot in years, where it used to be a case you'd be able to shoot one shell and obliterate enemies and frustrate a lot of players. Nowadays it's a lot more fairer, and it is amazing and a big part of utilization for your team to then stun enemies, to then make further gains, and also limit the movement of enemies. Next up is heavy tanks, and this is the T110E5. It's one of my favorites, and especially because I've utilized it for a lot of missions and campaign wins. Now, what's so good about heavier tanks is suppressing the enemy, holding them back, making sure that if you've got allies coming round, they're shooting into the side of whatever enemy they are. You can find a lot of tanks on certain maps on bottlenecks, just making sure that enemies don't make advances to your base. And obviously you don't want to get the win. And heavy tanks have a lot of muscle to them and a lot of health points. Next up, tank destroyers. Tank destroyers you'll find a lot more further back, sometimes towards your base, but a lot of times they're in camouflage and they're at distance. They're kind of like the snipers in World of Tanks, picking the opportune point to then hit an enemy, and as well they can do a lot of damage. And now onto my final type of tank that is one of my favorites. It's the medium tank. And the medium tank is very speedy. It's very much pushed towards ambush situations, a little bit of reconnaissance, so it's got that kind of scout nature to it, but it has a lot more health points and also a lot more armor. Not as much as heavy tanks, but the same thing applies, that they can change the course of the battle. So if a heavy tank is pushing down enemies, holding them down, suppressing them, then you've got this tank to then come around the side and then put the pain into the enemy. And it can really change the way that the battle is going in a positive way for you. Yes, a lot of tanks have very different purposes in game. It really does depend how the game is going to how you play said tank. If you're the last one left alive and you're a scout, then everything kind of goes out the window because you'll have to do things like shoot, move very quickly, shoot, move very quickly to new locations, just confusing the enemy of your position. And if they try to cap, then you're going to have to decap. Obviously, you don't want to lose by the enemy capping, so you're going to have to try and take down all the other enemies. Easier said than done. But without further ado, let's take the T127 out for a spin. This is the tank you get free as a bonus for new players. Go to the link in the description down below, and I can talk you through my strategies as well as hopefully pick up the win. Okay, here we go. This is a... Okay, here we go. This is a Himmelsdorf battle, and I love this. It's the real world locations. And look at the graphics. Graphics are fantastic. This is on Ultra, as I said. This is with my GeForce GTX 1080. I'm just going to have a little peek down here. I'm just going to wait a moment. You see, we've got stuck in. We've already got two destroyed on the enemy, which is pretty cool. I'm kind of waiting down here because I just don't know if anything's going to come about. Also, top tip: try and aim for the PZ1C. As it's a great little tank, especially to learn in. When you get the auto loader gun, which you unlock through experience, you can get a really powerful pew 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 gun. It's something that we used to like say, me and the lads, when we were playing the game, we were going, it's a pew 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 gun because it goes so fast. I think a lot of people do say that. Okay, can we get a shot in the distance? No, I think there's a fountain in the way. Oh, that's a class shot over the top of the fountain and taking out the enemy. Nobody's showing themselves at the moment. Somebody's on top of the hill. I think we'll push this line a little bit more. We are alone. That's my big no-no to go alone. And as you can see, there is an enemy tank which has just appeared. But I'm thinking they're going to be looking the other way towards the other enemies, and that is correct. They are. We're going to track them there in place. That didn't really turn out well. Just try it again. That's not a weak spot. So everything that's green will indicate a weak spot on the enemy to shoot. Oh my word! We just that was all of the shells there. That was the magazine exploding, and we took his head off, and we just nudged it. Okay, that's not good. That's not good for him, but it's brilliant for us. This seems to be a complete walkover. I'm going to come round the side, but I think the allies are going to take down everybody. This is going to be a very easy win, ladies and gentlemen, but it does go to show you that sometimes it happens. You can be invited to platoons, up to you if you want to accept, and at the moment, by staying in the base, I'm starting to capture it, which would probably be a case they're going to take out that enemy before I cap, but this is the option that you've got. You can either cap to win or eliminate all enemies to win, and that was very quick. Welcome back to another game on Himmelsdorf. This time I'm going to change my tactics. Rather than going up the alleyway to the right, which was at F7 going up to D7, I'm now going around the wider side. So I'm going to be going up to K0 and going upwards up the hill. Something that I like to do from time to time, not all the time, but I feel there's enough tanks going up there to make a strategic play towards the enemies. And whether or not we'll have success, only time will tell. Also, you know, just to point out the fact that it's nice to smack down debris, because it's got that real world kind of vibe to it. If you get a tank and you drive it over a statue and you'd expect it to stand still, well, that's not the case. Now you can just destroy things at your leisure, which is nice. As you can see, we're just destroying some railings. Now we're going to take on this light. There we go. So just like knock straight down. It is really cool to see this level of detail. Even the moss on the castle walls. Just look at the detail in that. I do love this game, and as I said, graphics are on ultra at the moment and looking clean. They're looking crisp and they're looking fresh. So that's what we're going to do. Just push up here to the corner and see what's happening. There seems to be some enemies making a play. That one is making a play. We should be able to get a shot in there. That was a good shot. We shoot again. Blocked by armor. Disappointing. And just up here, I think we can get the top of the... Yes, we can. The turret gets a hit there. We then shoot again. The turret gets a second hit. And looks like a heavy tank is getting a little bit too big for his boots. Is he going to push up or not? Let's see. Let's see, can we get a cheeky shot over there? No, that was risky. That was risky, guys. That's one thing to point out. Try not to shoot too close to your allies, because that was very, very cheeky and could have resulted in enemy taking damage, which I didn't really want to do. I'm seeing there's an opportunity now across D5 to then shoot down on enemies. Let's have a quick look, see if we've got anything available. We do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to hit in the back of the turret because it's gone green. It's a weak point, but instead we go into the back. The side again gets hit. We're going to shoot it again to the side again. Get another bit of damage over there into that medium, which is good. They didn't like that, did they? We're going to shoot. Oh, that was a bit of a clutch shot there. Didn't really well aim that and try to guess where the enemy was going. But I think we've got... No, we didn't aim again. So we get that reticle down. Good shot in. Lovely jubbly. And we pick up that little destruction there. And what I want to do next is try and move to this gap that's coming up here just to shoot down the line. I could position myself better, but still, this is good. This is good. This is good. Right. We want to do another one in. We do another one in. Cheeky little move each time. He misses. We miss ours. We kind of bounced that, so that was red, see that? We dodge, and can we get anything in? It's difficult at the moment, because he's ducked behind. I wonder how much of the turret is being shown. Probably not as much as we would like to hope. Not shooting at us. Our ally is coming in. As you can see, Mad Max is going closer and closer and closer. There goes spots up. That was a really cheeky hit on the top of the turret. We shoot again, we miss, and our ally picks it up. Good, good, good. Let's move on. There's only 2 more left. So this should be another quick and easy game. And I think the game has gone quite well. It's gone very much in our favour. Just 486 damage so far that we've seen. There may be a little bit unseen, but still, that was the strategies there. We've bounced 40 damage. But look, we're now 13-5. It is more than likely that we will pick up the win here. I don't know if I've got any distance shots on. No, they are tucked around the corner, so our allies are probably going to pick up the win. And I think this is where the speed is like, it'd be great to see a bit more speed on this tank, but it's still sufficient enough. And we pick up the win. GG's. There we have it. That was gameplay of the T127. This is the tank that you get when you are a new player to the game, and I strongly recommend going to the link in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment, to check out the game for free. Thank you very much to World of Tanks for sponsoring this video, and as I said, check out the links in the description down below. I've been Rich the Man. I shall catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.